Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gaming with me, Tony Mo, and I'm very excited to be here today to talk with you about Metal Gear Online. Metal Gear Online for the Phantom Pain finally went live today for those of us on console as a free update. If you own Metal Gear Solid 5, you can boot it up right now, download the update, and hop into Metal Gear Online. Those of you on PC are going to have to wait. Metal Gear Online isn't going to be releasing until sometime early next year, although I hope that that delay is well worth the while and that you guys end up getting a really great online port of MGO, because you know what? Metal Gear Online is pretty damn awesome. I've been playing it for several hours this morning and been having a ton of fun with it. There are a lot of reasons I was excited for the return of MGO. As a huge fan of MGO back in the days of MGS4, I was just stoked about the sort of tactical multiplayer experience that Metal Gear Solid provides in its core gameplay, being integrated into an online experience. And I'm happy to say that all of that has been preserved, and then some, in Metal Gear Online here in the Phantom Pain, because of all the changes and the tweaks that have been made to that core gameplay design. All those little awesome tactical mechanics that we have in Metal Gear Solid 5 are here in the online. They haven't been stripped or removed. All of those same systems, hanging from cover, diving, shooting on your back, rolling, climbing up buildings, it's all here. Everything you could do in the single player, including Fultoning other players, is here in online, and it's a huge part of the experience and what makes it so enjoyable. Now, when you first boot up Metal Gear Solid Online, you're going to have to select your first subclass. There are 3 subclasses available, and don't worry, you will eventually have a character tied to each one of them. But you have one character to start. You're going to go ahead and pick one of those 3 subclasses. There are Recon, there's a Rifleman, and there's one other class. I would personally recommend, for those of you who are new players to MGO, you never really played a Metal Gear game online before, or maybe you're even new to Metal Gear Solid 5, to go with the Rifleman class. Once you hit level 6, you'll have the ability to create 2 more characters and tie them to the other 2 subclasses. But I felt that early on, the Rifleman class is a great place to start. It's going to let you get comfortable with the controls. You're going to be able to spend some time in that free play zone, shooting some of the targets, messing around with D-Walker, tweaking all of your sensitivities, and making sure that everything is comfortable and good to go, so you're not missing any silly shots or having any missed micro when you finally get into the online experience. You also will be able to customize your character, not just in terms of their weapons and equipment, but also their visual gear once you hit level 4. So honestly, the best thing you can do when you first get into Metal Gear Online is just auto-match right away and join a Bounty Hunter mode. Bounty Hunter is the mode that I strongly recommend for new players. It is a modified version of Team Deathmatch. The same thing applies in a normal Team Deathmatch. Rather than racking up the kills, though, you're trying to eliminate the other team's ticket count. That being said, there's a couple of small tweaks here. The more kills you get, the more you have a chance of increasing your bounty. High-value bounty players can then be Fultoned by the other team to resupply their tickets. So if you're a player and you realize that you have a high bounty, the last thing you want to do is be Fultoned by the enemy team and vice versa. If you see someone with a high bounty, try your best to try and DBM them, down but not out them, and Fulton them, whether it be with a Tranq pistol or a CQC takedown. That's going to give your team a huge amount of your tickets back, and it can really turn the tide of battle. This is honestly one of the coolest twists that I've seen on the standard TDM formula in a very long time. I'm excited for this game mode. It's a lot of fun. It's still chaotic team deathmatch, but there's a lot of coordination that can be had between you and your teammates. And the whole idea of being Fultoned is actually kind of terrifying when you know you're racking up that bounty count. So that's a little bit of a pro tip there. Make sure you are well aware of where your high value targets are on the other team, as well as the ones on your team, and try and protect them inherently. Now, at the start of every match, each team is also granted a D-Walker. Yeah, that crazy little bipedal robot with the minigun. Each of the teams will have one of those. It's important that you acquire yours as quickly as possible and identify the location of the enemies and eliminate it as quickly as possible. I wouldn't say this is an overpowered component, but if you let the other team run wild with theirs, or perhaps even capture yours, things are going to get bad very quickly. You're going to want to make sure that you do something about that. Just remember, the D-Walker is heavily armored from the front, while the pilot is completely exposed from the rear. So do what you can to lure its attention and have someone else shoot it from behind. So that's the core Bounty Hunter. Again, it's the mode that I strongly recommend. This is where you're going to want to come. You start playing the game, you're going to start to level up, you're going to unlock your loadouts at level 4 that allow you to customize some of your weapons and equipment. Now, each of the different subclasses has their own weapon equipment, so keep that in mind, as well as their own visual upgrades. Each of these pieces of equipment, say you're a big fan of the AM-MRS-4, that's what I use with my Rifleman class here. The more you use that weapon, the more you perform well with it, you will start to unlock attachments. These attachments are completely free. Once you unlock them, you can go ahead and apply them to your weapon. They can, be anything from foregrips to suppressors and different dot sights. You can also add camouflages to different pieces of gear. There's a lot of layers of customization. But let's get back to the gameplay. MGO is instantly addicting. I played 3 hours of it this morning, and I just wanted more and more and more. Even playing alone, I wasn't even able to play it and have any of members of my friends weren't on. I wasn't playing with a fire team. I was literally just playing with randoms, and I actually found a lot of people on the mic, which was really cool. I think a lot of people understand this is very much a gameplay experience that rewards team play. You can play with randoms, you can still be successful, but the team that plays together is definitely going to slay together. Coordinating with your friends is a lot of fun in MGO, and I think it's a huge part of the tactical experience that it provides. Now, I think that is another inherently addicting element of MGO for me, is just how the whole game plays. I like the tactical nature of Metal Gear Solid, and throwing that into a multiplayer experience for me is a little bit like video game crack. I really just want more of it. I want to get more comfortable with my loadouts. I want to get more comfortable with all of the small little tactical elements. You know, I want to try and drop off a ledge and break some guy's neck. It's really like standout gameplay moments like that that can make MGO a really fun experience. Now, there's a lot of other stuff to cover in Metal Gear Online. We have the abilities to talk about. All of this and more we're going to talk about in future videos. I'm going to be doing my noob tip series for MGO, giving you guys a lot of guides. And really what I want to ask of you is to share your first impressions of your initial Metal Gear Online experiences. If you've been playing MGO today, let me know what it's been like. Has there any been standout, exciting moments for you? Has there been anything that's frustrated you, or anything that you know you're going to have to overcome in order to enjoy MGO a little bit more? Now, as I said, I'm going to be creating a bunch of guides for this. Going to be going over some of the maps and the different game modes to help new players have fun, to be successful, and to even, you know, start to increase their kill count and, you know, just overall move them up the scoreboard when it comes to MGO. If there are any guides or tips or tricks that you'd like to see me focus on first, feel free to let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll try and make an effort to put those guides out first. Again, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to MGO, but if there's anything that is standout important to you guys as new players, feel free to let me know, and I'll try and get on that ASAP. If there's anything else you'd like to ask me regarding Metal Gear Online, the channel, or anything else, as always, throw it down in the comment section below, and I hope I see you out there Fultoning some high-value targets.